Good morning, this is Angie Karen, owner of OmTurtle Yoga Spa and Cafe right here in beautiful Florissant, Missouri. Today we are offering you a couple classes, free yoga classes, to help you basically get through your days while being locked up during this coronavirus. I hope you are staying home and staying healthy and finding ways to entertain yourselves while we are trying to get through this pandemic. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being a part of our free yoga series. We've been doing classes now for 2 weeks, and I plan to do free yoga until this pandemic is over. So thank you again for joining us. This class today is a deep yoga stretching class and meditation. So there isn't any strength building in this class whatsoever. It is more so for you to relax, you to kind of get settled in your mind, and for us to do a lot of deep stretching. So I am going to begin with a deep meditation. So I would like for you all to get comfortable in your space. Now, before we begin though, if you have a pillow or a bolster or something kind of big and fat, we will need that later on in class. If you don't have anything, that's okay, don't worry. So for now, let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall wherever you are. And let's get serious about meditation. Now, you might have some stuff going on. You might hear things outside or somewhere in your house because you are trying to cohabitate with a bunch of other people who might be making noise. Good yogis know how to tune all that out. So as your thoughts happen inside and as the noise happens outside, we're just going to allow all that to take its space in your life. Because it's there's nothing we can do about it. So we're just gonna kind of tune into ourselves, and I want you to tune into my voice. Does that sound good? So let's go ahead and relax into our space. And please close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, soften the space on your forehead. So soften your face and lightly allow your eyelashes to just gently touch one another. Unhinge the jaw. And let's take our first deep breath in through the nose, all the way down to the belly. Another long deep breath in through the nose, all the way down to the belly. Allow your neck to become long, your shoulders are wide. Notice the direction of your breath. Are you tugging too deep? Are you labored in your breath? Can you soften your breath a little bit? Can you create a flow through your nose down to the belly? Let's count in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Breathe. Well done. Open your eyes softly and watch. I'm going to teach you a breathing technique with your hands. This is going to help to relieve any anxiety or tension that you might have. So we're going to take our first 2 fingers. We're going to drop it down like this. And we're gonna turn our hands in towards our nose, just like this. This is called alternate nostril breathing. So anytime, I used to do this when I had a lot of anxiety. I would do this in the car on my way. I did a lot of presentations for a lot of people in my corporate job. And when I was going through anxiety, the presentations didn't stop. So I had to quickly find a way to bring myself into balance so that I can actually stand in front of hundreds of people and present. So this is what I would do, and this is what I would like to teach you. Anytime you're feeling off balance, you're feeling stressed, tension. Here we go. We're gonna take your right thumb and we're gonna press it down on your nostril. We're gonna take a deep breath in. Then we're gonna switch and open up and release on the right side. Exhale. Don't switch just yet. Now we're gonna breathe back in that side. Switch and exhale on the other side. So basically you're breathing out, then in, switching out, then in, out, then in, out, then in. Does that make sense? Because if you did this, you would just be in, out, in, out. So out, then in, out, then in, out, then in. Let's keep breathing. Good. And the more you do this, the more oxygen you get in your brain. You might notice that one side of your nostril is more clogged than the other. That's very normal, especially now with allergy season. But your brain regulates. Every 2 hours, it'll go from one side to the other, and you might feel more clogged on one side. It's just regulating your body, the hemispheres in your brain. So keep breathing in and out just like that. In through the nose, out through the nose, and switching. Good. 2 minutes of this kind of breathing will help to relax your body. Good. It will help to balance the hemispheres of the brain, and it delivers a whole bunch of new, fresh oxygen. Very good. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for all the likes. Good. Excellent. And relax. Let's drop our right ear to our right shoulder. Good. And then just turn your chin in towards the right shoulder. Take your time, sweet friends. There's no hurry here. Bring your face back into neutral. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder and just turn chin in towards the chest. Good. And switch to the other side. Right ear, right shoulder. Just another one of those. We're just teasing out that long muscle on the side of that neck. We're just spinning the chin. Good. One side to the other. Take your time. There are no hurries, my friend, here. Go ahead, lift your chin and lift up. Smooch the ceiling. Good. Up towards the sky. Excellent. Drop your chin in towards the chest and draw a little smiley face on your chest. Good. Lift your head back up into neutral and go ahead and drop to your right ear again and take your left hand, and I'd like for you to sweep that long muscle on the left side of that neck. So we're just doing a little bit of dry brushing for our lymph nodes, trying to cleanse and clear our space a little bit, especially where those tonsils are, because this is allergy season. So we're going to have a lot of stuff that wants to snuggle up in our neck. Go ahead and dry brush the front of your neck, kind of like you're sweeping off breadcrumbs or something that you got all over your neck and your chest. Very good, good. And then dry brush this side, especially your tonsil area. We want to clear any toxins. This is also a good time of year, even if you're not feeling it, to gargle some warm salt water. Just about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt water. Go ahead and just kind of massage that neck a little bit. About a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in warm water, just to kind of get it coating the throat, because if anything gets caught in there, it doesn't have a chance to live. So even if you're not feeling bad, if you tend to get sick during the early springtime, maybe see if you can gargle yourself some salt water. We're just releasing any tightness and tension, so I'm just giving myself a little bit of a massage. Why don't you join me in those big, nice, long muscles right here in the shoulders? Just press your fingers in and see if you can locate any little knots in there. And if you find a knot here, just kind of press deep into it and just give yourself a little bit of a circle in that space. You might have some tension. Lots of people have tension in their necks and shoulders, and that's an indicator of number 1, stress, number 2, sleeping wrong, and lots of other things, but we'll stay with that for now. Good, other side, reaching in, and just how about you give yourself a little bit of cupping in your hands. If you find any knots, press into those knots and just give yourself a little bit of a circle there. Good, well done. Good, a little bit more. How about we go all the way down the esophagus and just kind of outline the esophagus. Good, and just kind of sweep. We're sweeping towards our heart. Our heart will do the work and it'll get it out of our body. Once we breathe, we keep breathing, we'll get it out through our breath, out through our skin, and all those other exit areas of our bodies. Good. Excellent. Good. Big shoulders up and back. Big shoulders up and back. Good. Relax, sweet friends. Relax. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get back onto the mat with the bolster. So you join me. I'm going to move the chair out of the way. So stay with me, sweet friends. Come on back. I'm going to sit on a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, that's okay. Don't worry about that. You don't need fancy equipment to be able to practice yoga at home. You can just grab a pillow. Pillows are fine, or maybe even take a big old comforter that you have and roll it into a big circle like this. See this? This is the bolster here and what we have. But you can take a big comforter, roll it in a circle, and just take twine maybe and just kind of tie it up. So again, don't spend a lot of money on clothes, on equipment at home. You can do yoga literally everywhere, okay? So go ahead and sit on top, get comfortable. I'm gonna turn the camera just a smidge so you can see me a bit more down here. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Good, and let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall and take a couple deep breaths just to get ourselves settled. Let's add our twist super early in our class this morning. Our left hand will find the outside of the right thigh as we twist into the spine. Left hand finds the outside of the right thigh. Right hand spins behind us. Our gorgeous faces are going to turn towards our right shoulder. So you take your gorgeous face, turn your gorgeous face towards your right shoulder. Sit up super tall and breathe. Take about 3 deep breaths here. And relax into your space. Good. On your next in-breath, bring those arms up high, and then switch to the other side, adding that twist, and turn that face towards that left shoulder. Sit up tall, sweet friends, long, long, long in that body. Good. One more deep breath in, all the way up. Well done. Relax. I'm going to take and I'm going to actually come off of my bolster. I'm going to invite you to do that too. And I'd love for you to send your bolster or your blanket by your feet. All right? So basically all we're doing is we're elevating our feet. Now it's kind of the same as if we were like this. But when we elevate our feet, it's actually going to deepen our stretch. So if it is a little bit harder to start off with, that's okay. Just go ahead and remove the blanket or the bolster for now, and we'll come back to it once you feel a little bit more stretchy. You might notice your knees pop up, and that is a definite indicator that your hamstrings are tight right now. But what I'd like for you to do in the meantime is just kind of pull your cupcakes out of the way, just kind of pull that flesh out of the way, and sit up super tall, find your sits bones. Send your feet out and softly send those toes up to the ceiling. Not an energetic pull because you might get a cramp in your thighs. So we're just gonna press our feet out as wide as we can, or as far as we can, sit up as tall as we can. Then we're gonna inhale and rise, bring our arms up to the top, and then we're gonna float down as far as we can, reaching for the toes, the shins, or the backs of the knees. So whatever you can do, we're gonna tuck our chins in and we're just kind of forward fold forward, okay? So let's go ahead and dip our faces. Good, and just relax. While you're here, you keep your face down and listen to my voice. You're just gonna open the back of your body. So allow the muscles in the back, the bones in the back to just open up and allow your spine to get really long and exposed. So you're gonna drop in, chin to chest, wide arms here, wherever you are, grab onto it a little bit. Just give yourself a little bit of a tug, which is gonna then open up just a smidge more. So let's see, how deep we can spend our time here. Good, reach. If your knees are popping up, that's okay. It's all right, give it a little bit of time. You can always move that bolster in a little bit further. Mine is all the way out to my ankles, but maybe you need it under your calves or under your knees. Consider, because the more you pull it in, the more forgiving it is on the stretch. Good. Now we're gonna reach out for as far as we can grab. We're gonna grab into the flesh. I'm gonna reach for my toes, but you might not be able to grab your toes. That's okay, it's up to you. You can also take a strap if you have one handy and just kind of give yourself a little bit of a tug that way. Strap, block, a blanket, not a blanket, strap, belt, scarf, good. Reach as far as you can, flatten your back and lift your head. So what I'd like to see here is kind of a flat back, and we're kind of sitting just like this. And now we're strengthening the muscles as well as stretching the muscles. So lift up, kind of turtle your head upwards. Good, you're gonna feel an elongation in the spine and in the muscles. They're all engaged, they're fired up. But now, since we're tugging back our toes, we are gonna feel a stretch in the hamstrings and the calves. So we've got a couple things going on here. We're gonna take a big deep breath in, and on the exhale, we're gonna reverse and just kind of relax into our stretch, chin to chest. Then we're gonna tug again and lift our face. So go ahead and tug and flatten that back, lift your face. Good, and then reverse, go ahead. Go ahead, inhale as we open our chest, and exhale as we close our chest. Good, inhale as we open our chest, and exhale as we close our chest. I'm gonna go to the side so you can see what my body's doing, so you can try to do the same thing. So inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Well done. Let's widen those legs a little bit. Widen those legs. So now it's on the outer edges of that blanket, the bolster, whatever you have, pillow. Sitting up nice and tall. That left hand is gonna find that right foot or the outside of the right shin. Whatever you can reach to, your furthest most point on that leg, reach. And then take your right hand and reach behind you, but sit up super tall. Your body's gonna wanna get a little slobby here. But let's see if we can try to sit up as tall as we can and turn our face towards that right shoulder. Good, another deep breath in. We're gonna reach, the right hand is gonna sweep across the body, and we're gonna sit up super tall, just like this, as deep as we can. This is your body, not mine, so do what works best for you. Turning your face towards that left shoulder. What that does is that helps to open the chest a little more. If I was here, then my shoulder might follow. But if I'm open and I turn my face, then my shoulder has no choice but to open up that posture a little bit more. Good. Here's something kind of fun. If you want, if you can, challenge pose. Hand is upside down. You can reach and kind of twist if you wanted to. Good, and then reach, kind of twist upside down, twisting upside down, and then reaching like that. You don't have to twist that hand if you don't want to. Good, and relax. If possible, consider trying something kind of fun, a little wonky. Your body may or may not like it. A butterfly pose, so your feet are on top of the bolster. Again, if this doesn't work, you don't need to have a bolster. Let's see if you can place your feet on top of the bolster. Then kind of shimmy your booty back so that you have a nice, strong posture here. Move everything out of the way if it shifted again. And then grab onto your toes. Nice long body here, breathe. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Take your time, sweet friends. There's nowhere to go. Good. And if you want to add a little bit to your stretch, you'll simply drop your elbows down, and instead of coming forward, we're going to actually drop our chest inwards. Our elbows are bending. Our elbows are dropping down, maybe close to the thigh, or close to the thighs, or maybe to our shins. And then our chest is coming down just like this. Our face is still lifted here. because we're trying to cultivate similar to what we just did when we had our legs extended. Good, and then coming back, very gently rocking forward and back, long arms, and then tug, bringing the chest forward. We're just easing into the stretch here, no hurry. And see if you can try to transfer the energy into that low back. Next time you come forward, see if you can transfer the stretch there. And how you do that really depends on how tall you sit and how forward your chest is. So see if you can find that stretch. Maybe even take those elbows and come forward if possible. And see if you can kind of curl yourself even deeper towards those feet, bringing those feet in towards the chest as much as your body says it's okay. Making sure you breathe consistently through this practice. Breathing is the most important part of your practice today. Good, and then come all the way back, bringing those knees together. We're gonna go ahead, see how that bolster or that pillow is right directly underneath my knees. We're gonna go ahead and slide onto our back here, leaving that bolster right where it's at, and we're gonna put our feet wide, just like this, but in a laying posture. We're gonna lay all the way back down onto the mat. Go ahead and drape those legs over that bolster, wide legs here. Placing our hands on our belly. Now, if your body does not like this, you're more than welcome to go here. So we're gonna place our hands on our belly, and we're gonna breathe deep into our belly. Inhale and exhale through the nose. Take your time here. How about you take 5 long, deep breaths in the belly. Let's do that together. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Is your spine starting to sink into the floor beneath you? I bet it is. Good, you may stay right here. Otherwise, if you're looking for a different kind of stretch, we're gonna pull that bolster or that pillow up underneath of our hips, just like this. The feet will come directly underneath the knees if possible, just like that. And we're gonna pause here. And what this is doing is this is sending all this new fresh blood and oxygen into the upper part of our body. It's challenging our circulatory system a little bit differently. It's challenging it, making it work a little different so that it helps to kind of cleanse and clear any blockages that we might have. Not only that, but it feels really good in that low back. So if you want to give that a try, give that a try. Your heels are directly underneath the knees, or they could be closer to the glutes. It depends on what you feel best at. And you might even want to consider bringing those knees up, just like this, and giving yourself a little bit of a jelly bean stretch. And bringing those feet back down to the floor. You're going to notice your core space will get energized a little bit there. We're not looking for heat right now. We're just looking for movement. That's all. Bringing those legs in, dropping those legs down. You can even lift if you wanted to up off that bolster and just kind of create a sequence here as you're pulling those knees in, sending those feet out, maybe even pushing upwards with the hips, squeezing into the glutes. Good, otherwise stay right where you are because this feels super amazing too. I could sleep here, it feels so good. You can even send your knees, just windshield wipering from side to side. If you do decide to do that, it works best when your feet are wider. Just allow your knees to float in and out. Good. Restorative yoga, low flow, we call it low flow restorative at OmTurtle. It's basically just designed to be a super long, deep stretching type of class, more meditational. So the more you breathe, the more you kind of just settle into the pose. You just kind of allow your body to move. Beautiful. If you're feeling like you want to lift those legs up high, consider maybe even bringing those thighs down to the body. And the bolster's there now to help support. So if you are somebody who's trying to figure out if they can do a plow pose at some time, someday, this could help you move into a plow pose safely. Plow pose looks like that. So if you're feeling like you're ready for a plow pose, consider. Otherwise, bringing the legs up high is okay. You can even strap your toes if you wanted to and just kind of play around with stretching into the hamstrings. Otherwise, if you're feeling like you want to move into more of a plow pose, be careful of your neck and your spine. If you have some issues with your neck, this is probably not something that you want your body to do. I'm just tapping in and out of it because I want to make sure that I can do it. I want to make sure my body's okay with it for today before I commit to the pose. And you'll notice that when you do it, sometimes your body likes to play, sometimes it doesn't, right? So you want to kind of tap the edge, tap the edge, tap the edge before you commit to a full pose that might be a little bit more intense than what you're used to. This is not a pose that everybody feels comfortable doing, so if you're looking or you're joining right now and you're going, what the heck is that? That is something your body definitely builds to, but there's plenty of options before you get to that full plow pose. Good. Happy baby is a good option here with that bolster up underneath the hips. Good, we're just entertaining ourselves. Can't really rock too much from side to side, depending on what you have underneath of you, but if your pillow or bolster is a little forgiving, it might let you rock from side to side. And just kind of opening those legs a little bit more. Oops. I just dropped love. Love. Yeah. Gotta keep our love engaged. Good. Open those legs nice and wide. Maybe grab the backs of the knees if possible. Good. You stay right there. Make sure I'm still in the shot there. Oh. Okay. Use your hands as necessary to hold on to those knees. Either inside or out, depending on your flexibility. Bring those feet up again to the sky and maybe reaching to see if the toes are a possibility. And while you're here, maybe take that bolster and slide it out of the way. So we no longer need that. Just kind of send it down a little bit further. Very, very good. And let's do some hip openers here. So the right leg is going to cross over the left. Then we're going to lift our hips up and shift them to the right. And then we're going to roll both knees down in the left side of the body. And as you do so, your arms will open up here just like this. And we're going to take a few deep breaths here. While you are lying in this stretch, you want to feel the cultivation of the stretch in the outside of the hip. We're not trying to split the back of the body. We're trying to stretch into the hip space. The arms are wide to provide balance, but hopefully in this right arm right now, you've got a nice stretch underneath the arm and the side rib cage, the bicep space. If you're looking to add a little bit more, you can always release that top leg and just kind of extend it a little bit. And just kind of lift into the leg like that, maybe, maybe not. How about 2 more deep breaths, just like this. good. And then we're gonna release, bringing our feet back into neutral. Lift up into the hips and shift back into your alignment. And then actually let's just bring our knees real quick into our hips just to realign. And then this time the left leg is gonna cross over the right. We're gonna lift our hips up and shift it to the left and drop both knees down this time to the right side. Good. As you do so, if your hips are not liking what you're doing, just simply shift your hips so that they're stacked on top of one another. Because if they're not stacked, it's going to create a tension right here, and we're not trying to split this part of the hips. We're trying to stretch, twisting into the spine and the outside of the hips. And then extend your arms out wide again. And breathe. Good, and if you want to add that challenge pose of releasing that left leg and just reaching out with your right hand and extending, consider trying that. And stay right where you are, keep breathing. How about one more deep breath right where you are? Good, and then unravel. Stay right there on your back, sweet friends. I would like for you just to lie out as flat as you can, as if you are preparing for Shavasana, your meditation. If you want to take that bolster or that pillow and put it directly underneath the knees, this is a great time to do that. And if there's any other stretch, posture, pose that you need right now, go ahead and take this time to do that. But don't go anywhere, sweet friends. Let's move into our meditation before the end of practice today. So as you lie there flat on your mat, your floor, take a big deep breath in through the nose, all the way down to the belly. Maybe turn your head from side to side to release any tension that you might have created throughout your practice. Maybe extend those hands, open those fingertips, just kind of spread them wide. And maybe spread the toes too and roll those ankles. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose as far as you can down through the belly. And allow all the muscles in the face to relax. Allow the neck to become long and lean there on your mat. Relax the shoulders and elongate the spine. And allow this quiet space to cultivate inside you. And if there's any thoughts that enter into the mind, that's okay. Just allow them to move through you, not within you. And stay right here for as long as you can, my friends. Enjoy your Shavasana for at least another 3 to 5 minutes. And I will see you again for the next practice. Namaste.